You know, to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, confronting the twin monsters of fuel subsidy and multiple foreign exchange regime frontally is taking the bull by the horns, if you ask me. Former Emir of Kano and Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mohammed Sanusi, has commended the Commander-in-Chief for solving once and for all the nagging issues. Now, the economist who came calling on the new helmsman confessed that the first reason for the visit was to congratulate him and express appreciation for the steps he had taken so far to put the economy on course. Excellence, we are told, Jide, is not a skill, but an attitude.
Yes, and clearly this old man has the attitude. I sympathize with people who did not know him enough. And
before now.
Yes, and some of the things that they were saying about him, they were clearly looking at him like someone without capacity, someone incompetent, someone who would just be lounging around in Aso Rock. But the boys who cover Aso Rock now, they are saying that they've never been in this situation. Multiple assignments in one day. Is receiving this person, you are obligated to cover. This other person is coming, you are obligated to cover. Multiple assignments in one day. And the man will sometimes not even leave his office until like past 8 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
You know, receiving this, receiving that, addressing this, addressing that. So the energy that he has put into the job, many people didn't expect it. As I said some days back, a good number of our people thought his presidency would simply be signposted by a lot of Bala Blue today, Bala Red tomorrow, this. Since he came back from France, they've not had anything close to Bala Blue. We said it at that time that it was because he had not had the privilege of sufficient rest, because he pushed himself more than necessary. I remember even the NNPP presidential candidate, Kwankwaso, during the campaigns, warning Asiwaju that he was going too far, that he was flogging his body too much.
Yeah. When
those little things now manifest, you dismiss the person because of that. Remember the interview that Fashola granted. He said, you may look at him, you may look frail.
Frail, yeah.
Underrate him at your own peril. Some of the decisions that Asiwaju has taken are decisions that previous administrations were too scared to take. The issue of convergence of the foreign exchange windows. Even as far back as 2017, the CBN was saying it will do it, but they never had the guts to do it.
Yeah.
Because people simply could not live with the reality of flotation of the Naira. Because the flotation of the Naira would initially make the Naira do so badly against other currencies. But with time, availability of foreign exchange will be guaranteed. Because a lot of people were hiding money, keeping their foreign currencies because they wanted to do trading rather than real production with it. They will release it. And availability will be guaranteed. The problem that we have in the forex market is illiquidity. And whatever measure we can take to address that illiquidity, no matter how painful, we've got to take it. At this time, it will go up, but after a while, it will stabilize. And when it stabilizes, the whole world will not be talking about the volatility of our forex market.
That's it.
They can plan. Airlines can plan. They can say, okay, let's do business with Nigeria because we are sure. Even as we are speaking now, investors are happy to come and do business with Nigeria because
are doing very well.
Very well. It rose to 2008 high after the sack of Emefiele. Look, I was reading a South African journal, and they are saying, look, this man is Mr. Go Fast. The pace at which he's introducing those reforms, nobody expected it. They were thinking he has to wait for some time. Now, he has shown his hand that I don't want to waste time about this. We've got to do it. the naira will eventually stabilize at around 600 to 660.
At the rate we're going?
Yes. And once we have that, the issue of demand, excessive, because the demand for naira in our country is unreal. People are simply mopping up the currency, waiting for devaluation so that they can make money. People who need this foreign currency to bring in raw material to use for production, they are the ones suffering to even lay their hands on it. People have friends in CBN, they make the currency available to them, they will be lounging and then get someone to go and change it in the black market, and they make tons of cash. There is no country in the world that I've seen, and I challenge economists. Because some people, when we talk like this, they say, oh, who is he? Are you an economist? What do you know? Which country would tolerate a dual exchange window with the gap as wide as we can see in our own case? At a time, the currency was 768 in the black market.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas we in the official market, 460. That situation only encourages round tripping and rent seeking, nothing else. No country of the world permits that. If you want to do dual exchange window, you must make sure that the margin is not wide, so that it does not encourage those who will simply be trading in the currency. That's why we have this volatility. South Africa, in years, their currency has been stable for years.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately for them, they rely on gold, not even crude oil. Everyone knows the volatility associated with crude oil. But in South Africa, they rely on gold, diamond. From time, they don't suffer that volatility.
Yeah.
Their currency is stable. People can plan. In our own country, we can't plan. The currency is not stable. And for that reason, you see an airline like British Airways, they're making up their minds to sell the Accra-London route ticket way cheaper than Lagos. Lagos-London. Our lawmakers were threatening them the other day, and they said, no, it's because of the unpredictability of the forex market here. And it's one of the reasons many people don't want to invest here, because they need to be able to envision what they want to do. They need to be able to plan. When we now have predictability in that market, because the market will simply be decided by, the value of our currency will simply be decided by market forces. When we have it, honestly, it will move us straight on the path of prosperity, because investors will be happy to come and work here. It's even beginning to happen.
Yeah, because the market is there.
Yes, it's beginning to happen now. So we have to congratulate the president for the courage that we will suffer, no doubt about it, but things will stabilize in the fullness of time.
Yeah, Wale and Nigerians, are we a patient people? But that's by the way. Now, add to what he has said, the fact that if we stabilize electricity, we'll become a producing country one more time, and we'll earn foreign exchange, and our naira will pick up. Or don't you think so?
We first of all need to admit that Nigeria is in a very critical situation at this moment. And what we need is radical intervention. The things are extremely bad for most Nigerians. You just need to go around the streets to know. So handing over this country to somebody who is not competent will be a huge error. But I think what we have seen in the past few days shows that there is a high level of understanding of the challenges that face Nigeria. Babajide spoke about the multiple exchange rate.
Yeah.
The other aspect of that policy is that if I have $10,000 now, I can go to Ikeja and change the money. Nobody cares where I get that money. So when you have that kind of market, you encourage illicit funds. You can't even track them. If you go to some countries, many countries in Africa, if you want to change your dollars, they will ask for your passport.
Yes.
They take records. But here, you just, because
they don't sell it on the street.
They don't sell it on the streets. So how do you trace drug funds, illicit funds, when you have multiple rates that, this one is higher than you go to the next place to go and buy? So I think taking
in
that
other words,
decision,
our problems are caused by us.
yeah, and by
Wrong policy.
political leaders that lack the political will and have a shallow understanding of the contradictions facing the country. So I think when you are talking about interest rate, the first thing is address is interest rate and then forex, the forex market. And if you look at the opinion of even the Western media, some of them that are even opposed to the regime, you could see even Reuters wrote a news analysis a few days ago, and you could see that they even admitted the impact on the stock exchange in the first, few days.
The opening days.
Because the body movement, the statements of a president gives direction to where the country is going and what are going to be the policy direction, and it's going to send signal to investors all over the world. To say that a country that was almost talking to a parallel state because of mismanagement, that there is a kind of a gleam of hope coming. And that's why you see investors all over the world now in Britain and others, they are all talking, look, it seems there's hope for us to come back to Nigeria to invest. Even MAN members who have moved to Ghana, Manufacturers of Nigeria, they are having a rethink. If you look at what is going on. So, and this is just less than a month. So I think we are seeing a transformation of rhetorics to action. And if you look at what is going on, it's in line with the policy statements he read. In the past, we have had presidents, they just read long statements, but in reality, the first 6 months, you don't see any impact. But now we are seeing some impact in the first 2, 3, in fact, 2 weeks. So I think it is significant. And probably it's also a reflection of his reputation as a chartered accountant, of global reputation. So I think it's really going to help this country if we are patient enough, and we continue with our constructive criticism in order to make the country rise up from the state of stupor.
Jide, and do you know that, well, government is not the highest employer in this country. Textile factories are. Over 400 of them shut down. So you are seeing light at the end of the tunnel, and these factories are coming back, and so there'll be jobs, if you ask me.
I expect even foreign investors to come into that sector because the reality is we have the market. The other day when I heard that one automobile company was going to Ghana, that they're setting up an assembly plant in Ghana, I was wondering where is the market for them? They will still end up maybe selling some of those cars within the west coast of Africa. The truth about Nigeria is that we have a ready market here. Our population is a strength. Everyone can see how China exploits its population as a strength, a critical strength.
That's it.
France, Russia, they offer couple money to bear children. They give you money. They incentivize people
reproducing.
I'm telling you the truth.
Except China.
I said France, Russia.
No, I heard you.
No, those ones don't. In any case, India has even overtaken China as the most populated country in the world. So, population is a strength. It's a strength that the Chinese are using. So, Nigeria has that strength, at least in this continent. The market is here. Look, if Nigeria can have a succession of good leaders, the glory days will come back. I'm extremely confident of that. I've been saying it for some time. The glory days will come back. And you will see investors, a deluge of foreign investors, happy to come and do business here. When foreign portfolio investors come into our country, this dollar illiquidity that we are suffering from will evaporate because they will bring in the dollars. Look at the difference that MTN has made. MTN is a foreign company. Look at its contribution to our GDP. Where would we be if we didn't have an MTN? So we want such companies to come. They will come, train our people, provide employment for our people, and generally help us to bolster our economy. And what these people want to see is the direction of the government. They don't want policy flip-flops. They want to see clearly that the government is heading in the right direction. That is what will make them feel comfortable to come and invest here. And I'm telling you, some of what Asiwaju has begun to do, the World Bank, the IMF, they've warned us that we should do. We were wasting time. Today that we begun to take those steps, you can see
the music is changing.
Yes, even the moment CBN announced that it was going to float the naira, come and see the response in the stock market. Positive response. All the stocks responded positively because they know that in the end it's going to bear positive fruits. Look at the airlines. We can't pay them. Their money is trapped in Nigeria. We are the worst country where this has happened. So once we have once we attain some level of stability now,
that's it.
People need the currency for business. They will be able to access it because it will be available. The demand will go down because people can see that it's no longer like before when you just simply go and access the currency for the purpose of trading. No.
All right.
It should be people want, it should be investors and importers who should be able to lay their hands on foreign currency without difficulty.
Jide, we hear Mahmoud is joining us from Lagos here. Mahmoud, good evening to you.
Good evening, gentlemen. You are doing a great job.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Especially Jide and the rest of you there.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I don't want to contribute on the first topic of this year, a former governor of Zamfara State. I think if he's a reasonable party man, he shouldn't have even contested because, the president is a Muslim. Vice president is a Muslim. Himself, he wants to be Senate president as a Muslim. This country, does not belong to one religion. We should allow breathing air to listen. And at the same time, when the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria says this is candidate,
Mahmoud, thank you very much. If you ask me, Mahmoud, I think the North Central should be complaining some more in the scheme of things. Many thanks. Okay, Wale, as we take this home, the visit is a welcome one.
Yeah.
By Lamido.
Yeah, it's a good development, and he admitted that the signs are being felt. He's a former CBN governor, no matter what anybody says, and if there are positive signals, he's in a position to know. But there are still many rivers to cross. Yeah. We don't need to deceive ourselves. The tempo must continue. Small-scale enterprises. China has about 140 million. Indonesia about 60 million SMS. Most of our SMS almost collapsed. Many of them collapsed during this currency swap introduced by the CBN for parochial reasons. Many people are indebted. So many microfinances have shut down. People are, these past 5 months, terrified for Nigerians. So it's going to, and that's why I'm happy that the CBN governor, there was no waste of time, no bureaucracy, to just suspend him. So I think we need such more decisive policies in order to be able to radically, turn around the country.
All right.